Now, my guest tonight is a comedian and actress who's gone from stand-up in the 1980s to Absolutely Fabulous and even a cameo on Coronation Street. And now Helen Lederer has written a book about it all. Let's take a look at some of her work over the years.
And I was really embarrassed, you see, about having to go back and confront the new owners, because I felt a bit guilty about, you know, the missing door handles and light fittings, you know. And let's face it, people like to probe, don't they? Probe. Because it doesn't matter how much you scrub and clean the house before you leave it, they still love to uncover some juicy little area of filth they can tell the neighbours about.
Chairs, I thought might be quite interesting. I've got a friend who's got a shop with some lovely chairs in it.
Jocasta?
Yes, and she believes chairs are as important to civilization as a masterpiece. Or something. I wrote it down somewhere.
You know, I wish I hadn't taken so long to join you.
Oh, well, we really appreciate the drinks you bought for us. Didn't we, Steve?
Yes.
And I think it's my round now.
Oh, and Helen's here now. Thanks for coming on. What a career. You've done so much.
Well, it looks like, yes, there were bits in between where I wasn't doing that much. But, yeah, the girl at the bar, the first one, was before Bridget Jones. So that's how far I go back. I was thinking, you know, 1981, 1982, doing stand-up. I think Bridget Jones was a long time. And I didn't have a name, but I did have a career. So it was the beginning of women sort of driving their own comedy and narrative a bit.
Absolutely. I remember those days. And you went on Corrie and had a brief encounter with Ken Barlow. What was that like?
Well, we didn't get that close. I wish we had. But what's amazing is the affection, how high he's held in the world, you know. And I love Coronation Street, but I don't watch it all the time. So I did Google a lot of it to be respectful when I arrived. But they're all so lovely up there.
You didn't ask for that role, did you?
No, because do you not find this, that when you don't ask for things, then they come along? When the book is all about wanting, you know, being ambitious, and ambition isn't a great attractive characteristic for a woman, particularly then. And then when you just don't ask for anything, or like wanting to meet someone, then it happens.
Oh, that's fate, isn't it?
It's fate.
You mentioned your book. Here it is, and Not That I'm Bitter.
Do you find the title slightly funny
or
a bit worrying?
No, it's good. And at the very start of your book, you start talking about Splash, the wonderful show.
Thanks for bringing that one up, Carolyn.
That was so funny, though. Was it actually very frightening as well?
It was. And now it's quite difficult for me to go up and down in lifts, weirdly, because it was 3 metres, which is quite high. But it was the first series, and I insisted that I had net over the down below area because of having to wear a swimming frock. And I think people were quite startled that a middle-aged woman would do it. I'm quite startled that I did it, but Joe Brand got the judging job, which was like, you know, and so I did do the dive eventually, and I haven't dived since.
Well, I think that was very brave of you. One of my favourite shows you've been in, obviously, is Ab Fab, and that wonderful, iconic character you play. What was it like working on that show? Were you just laughing all the time? How did you keep serious?
Well, everybody thinks that, you know, when you're doing something like that, they say, do you go round to each other's houses? And I say, yeah, all the time, not when they're in, obviously, but, because they were iconic. And then myself and lovely Harriet thought we were the kind of benign airheads. We didn't really do much. I think we tried to be helpful, but we served no function whatsoever, even to the plot.
But you just brought so much, honestly. Now, I'm going to ask you a random question. We're going to talk about fish and chip shops in London in a second. Have you got a favourite chippy? Do you like fish and chip shops?
I do like a chip. I like the sweet potato chip.
That's
a new way in, because you feel less guilty.
Yes.
No, chips on their own is a beautiful thing. Glass of wine and just chips, and not bother with a meal.
You know exactly how to do it. Thank you so much for coming in, Helen. It was brilliant to meet you.
Thank you for holding and touching my book.
Oh, thanks very much.